to The Health Affair, a bite sized podcast where we talk about what's healthy, what's unhealthy, and everything in between. Remember, this is the only guilt free affair that you must end up having. And I'm your host, Shweta. What is up, people? Today's episode is all wound around relationship with your partner, your significant other, the one who intrigues you but also the one you adore. The concept of romantic relationships is quite ancient, dating back to Radha and Lord Krishna in Dwapar Yuga. Grew up listening to stories about them, there's one fundamental idea that has stood out, and that is fun. The key idea is to enjoy each other's company, to have fun, no matter where you are. Also, once a close friend told me, we all have limited mental space. Who you let in is important, and who you let stay inside is extremely important, and this plays an essential role when choosing a partner. Sadly, far too many people are looking for the right person instead of trying to be the right person. But to attract better, you two need to become better, am I right? And how do we do that? Without any further ado, let me take you through my 5 learnings. Number 1. Compliment them often. Genuine compliments. Don't try too hard as you don't have to please them. It's just that they should never feel that you take them for granted. Number 2. Be their biggest cheerleader. Always try to give in positive input. Be someone who waters their growth. Try to be their echo space so that whatever idea they've thrown at you only becomes bigger and better. But at the same time, don't be afraid to be a critic, as this will also help your bond grow and add value to the other person's life. Number 3. If you noticed, I mentioned something like significant other and not significant half at the beginning of this episode. Yes, he or she is not your other half, just like some writers quote it. Because you are no half. You're a complete, independent person just the way they are. And here's a dialogue that knocks sense into this statement from the iconic show BoJack Horseman. Nobody completes anybody. That's not a real thing. If you're lucky enough to find someone you can halfway tolerate, you sink your nails in and you don't let go, no matter what. Everybody has shortcomings, insecurities, and something that makes you feel really small, something that you aren't very proud of. Don't project your negativity and insecurities onto your significant other, but don't even shy away from discussing it with them. You both are a team and a work in progress, and that discussion might just lead you to an answer. Number 4. Understand what's consent and space. First, consent. Why do we even need to talk about this? Because hello, we never talk about it. We live in a country where most kids don't have access to primary education, let alone sex education, and a lot of abuse, both physical and emotional, inflicted on any gender, which eventually takes a criminal turn, stems from lack of sex education where you learn about consent. Next, space. Every individual deserves their own space. Just because you're seeing someone doesn't give you the rights to intrude every now and then. Do not let your love life consume you. Don't forget who you are and what makes you you. Pursue your dreams, hobbies, and interests with the same intensity that you pursued your partner with. Share lives, but always keep a piece of you for you. Number 5 and the last one. Do not play the victim card. Accept that you could be the toxic one too, and changing the way you react would certainly help. Be proactive, not reactive. Take responsibility of your own stuff, happiness, and basically life. If you can't be happy on your own and expect them to do that for you, I feel sorry for your better half then. You both are supposed to be happy on your own and then share it with each other. Expecting the other person to make you happy every now and then is selfish. You create your own happiness. And this brings us to the last segment of our today's episode. QOTD. And that is the question of the day. So, here it is. This question has been sent to us by an anonymous listener, and here it goes. What to do if a person cheats on you and you've forgiven him, but you still deal with nightmares about that person cheating on you and you get anxiety attacks too? Okay, this is a tough one. First of all, nobody deserves to be cheated on. However worse you might be when it comes to relationships, they're always one step away from making a choice, a conscious choice, of not cheating and maintaining dignity of that relationship as well as their own. Walk out of it if it is not something that you want. It's like do tons of dumb mistakes but never let cheating make it to that list. and I understand what your complete being must be going through. Such times are when anxiety stems out, and it usually happens due to overflowing self doubt. Did I deserve this? Where did I fall short? Was the other person better than me? Was I not enough? Will I never be enough? The answer to all of these questions lies in your own subconscious. Peek into it and try to read through. Also, I feel it's really brave of you to be forgiving of him. Not everybody can do that. It definitely says a lot about your character and the strength you carry within yourself. But since you have this anxiety issue stemming up every now and then, all you need is a really good closure from your partner. Tell him what is happening exactly the way it is. Make him understand where it is coming from. You don't have to guilt trip him. He already must have had enough of it. But he needs to understand the depth of damage it has caused to you. Communication is the key. Talk about it until the situation kind of diffuses in your head. And ultimately, the responsibility of making you feel secure rests on the shoulders of your partner. Because the reason why you are feeling this way is because he made a mistake in the first place. If this doesn't work out, confide in a close and trustworthy friend. Friends often give us a much needed push and change of perception. Or maybe you should seek professional help because nothing is more important than your mental health. Go see a qualified counselor or a therapist who can help you out. There are a lot of professionals out there who are skilled and empathetic enough to make it better. Final piece of advice: own it up. You are the sailor of your own ship. Pushing it away or running away from it is not going to solve it. In fact, it might get worse if you keep dodging it for a long time. Hope this helps. Gotta see you better in no time. And here's one more question of the similar kind. It is asked by Suraj Chaudhary, and this is what he is asking us today.
Hi, I'm Suraj, and my question is that what are the little things which girls consider very important in a relationship?
Damn, I hope the girl you wanna be with is listening to this man. The problem with people is that they forget most of the time it's the small things that count. We do not remember days, we remember moments. And we are often running behind a bigger picture and tend to forget the little things that matter so much. Here's something that could be applied to anybody, irrespective of the gender, and there could be different things when it comes to different individuals. But I'll give you a quick 7 points here. Number 1, be real and be nice. Not fake nice. Real, genuine nice to people around you, towards people who are serving you. I think it is very charismatic to see someone treat others well, because that is how you'd be treated if you start seeing them. Especially when it comes to animals and elderly people. Also, nothing more attractive than a man who can play with babies. Number 2, humor. Come on, this is such a no-brainer. If one can make you laugh, then they surely can love you better. Also, I feel ladies need to understand this, that making you laugh is not his only responsibility. It is yours too. Up your humor game, girls. Number 3, vulnerability. Can't stress this one enough. You can only be real if you're vulnerable. Screw perfect. You have to let the other person see your vices and insecurities. Only then you can have a real and raw relationship. Number 4, loyalty. Don't even get in a relationship if this ain't included. Number 5, subtle, soft, and kind. Be subtle in your approach. Don't go all in or nothing. Practice kindness everywhere. It comes back to you in ways you never thought before. Also, don't do it just for the sake of seeing someone. It would eventually be seen, and there's no bigger turn off than fakeness. Number 6, genuine care and concern, and not mere babu ne khana khaya. Be a good listener. Listen to understand and not just to respond. Pick up little deeds that would cheer her up later. Number 7 and the last one, passion. Be passionate about what you do in life, and the same attitude will reflect in your relationship with your partner. I hope I answered your question well, and that's it for today. On this note, we are at the end of today's episode. Tell me what you liked and disliked. Was there something that provoked you to think? You can drop us a message on our mail, thehealthaffair101@gmail.com, or on our Instagram handle, thehealthaffair.in. You can also connect to us on our Facebook page, The Health Affair, and our Twitter page, HealthAffair101. All your feedback and suggestions matter just the way you matter to me. Thank you so much for listening, and I'd see you on Tuesday with a fresh and hot, out of the oven episode. Until then, adios.